G'day kids, make sure you hit the subscribe button, that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. Until then, enjoy this one.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now, who loves Lego? Actually, I think the question should be, who doesn't love Lego? How cool is it? Well, today we've come along to the Sydney Tower Eye, which is the tallest building in the whole of Sydney, and we're going to check out some amazing buildings made out of one of my favourite things to play with, Lego. Now this exhibition is called Brickman Cities and it's powered by Lego City and brought to you by none other than Ryan The Brickman McNaught, the co-host of the TV show Lego Masters. Now who else loves that show? This Lego exhibition explores the life and the architecture of 5 of the world's greatest cities: Tokyo, New York, London, Dubai, and of course, Sydney. Now I cannot wait to check these buildings out in detail, so come on kids, let's get stuck in. So as you come into the Brickman Cities exhibition, the first city you explore is Dubai. Now all of the cities are broken up between the old versus the new to show the comparison between the two. Now this one here is a typical building from around the 1950s and 1990s. So you can see the boat and the oil rig there because the oil industry is such a rich part of Dubai's history. So you see this clock tower here, that's called the Deera clock tower and it was built in 1965. But the Lego Masters have recreated it using Lego, which would have been so difficult. Can you imagine getting those curves? Super talented, aren't they? And they've even gone down to the detail of putting people inside the house. And you can see on the top floor of this building here, there's a dartboard in there. How cool is that? And there's also someone serving a pizza for dinner. Who doesn't love pizza? Especially Lego pizza. So these are 2 of the famous buildings in Dubai. This one is called Yakub Tower, but this one here is actually the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. Now, just to put it into comparison, we're standing in the Sydney Tower Eye, which is the tallest building in Sydney. It's about 300 metres tall. This guy is almost 900 metres tall, so it's like 3 times the height of the tallest building in Sydney. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Now this one took nearly 20,000 bricks to build and almost 100 hours to build this. So that's like 3 weeks worth of school days. So you can see the size of this gigantic tower compared to this guy here, which is called the Burj Al Arab, and it actually sits on its own little island in the water. Some of the buildings in Dubai are just incredible. But check out how cool the Lego is. I love the way they've used these bricks to create the water, and then again, the level of detail that Brickman and his team go to. The little surfers, catching some waves, people chilling out on the beach. And you've got these amazing sports cars, which you find a lot of in Dubai. But look at this little detail here. There's a lady and her little baby. It's so awesome. So this is a pretty cool detail. There's a little gardener doing his thing, mowing the lawn. Look at the smooth bit of lawn that he's mowed and look at the rest of the work that he's still got to do. Another awesome detail of this Lego sculpture. Now kids, I love this Lego sculpture. This building is called the Cayenne Tower and it's actually the tallest building in this Lego exhibition. It stands 2.4 metres tall. You can see it almost touches the roof. Ozzie can't even touch the top of it. That one took about 100 hours too, almost 30,000 bricks, but can you see the rotation, how it's spinning as it gets higher? That would have been an absolute headache for the Lego Masters to figure out, but how impressive does it look? So this sculpture, kids, is from ancient Dubai, from 1800s to 1900s, so a long, long time ago. And it's more like an ancient castle, but you can see the big fishing boats here as they're coming in with their day's catch. The seagulls sitting at the top of the ship there, and another one over here trying to get to that fish that's been caught. But I love the detail. There's a little crab just sitting on the sand there, which is very cool. So this building is from ancient Dubai, from a couple of hundred years ago, but how different is it compared to those humongous towers that you find in modern day Dubai? So kids, for those of you that have seen the Lego movie, you might recognise the name Emmett Brakowski. I have been told that Emmett is right here in the Lego exhibition today. He's one of the main characters from the movie. And if you see him, make sure you let me know. Let's go and see if we can find him. So kids, follow me. The next city we get to is London. Now, can you tell me what country that's in? It's in England or Great Britain. Now, the first sculpture is this one here of the Tower of London from a long, long time ago, back in medieval times. And you can see the detail there. You've got horses and knights and the men protecting London City. You see the man on top there, he's pouring a barrel of water over someone that's trying to get into the Tower of London. Over here, kids, we've got Robin Hood and his merry men, and they're the type of people that you would find back in medieval times. So one thing that really impresses me about this sculpture is the stuff that happens inside this building, the Tower of London. So if you come and check it out. So you can see here, kids, on the top level, there's a big feast or a banquet being enjoyed by the King and the Queen and lots of people. There's a cool little character over there called the Jester. He's doing some juggling, but then underneath in the dungeon, they've got some people that are locked in cells, and there's even a skeleton. So this is another sculpture showing the old part of London. This one's from 1650 to 1850. You see a big fire happening in the building there. That's from the Great Fire of London from 1666, long, long time ago, but it was a huge fire that ripped through lots of buildings. Then this building over here, that's a coal factory, and you can see all the black Lego bricks which are showing the coal. The coal was used to power steam engines and factories, but it also polluted that river that runs right through the middle of London, which is called the Thames. So this is another famous building from London called the Heron Tower. It's an incredible Lego build, but one awesome detail is down here, and you might need to ask a grown-up or mum and dad about this one. There's 4 people crossing a crosswalk there, and they're from a band known as the Beatles, which is a famous band from a long time ago. And that's a famous photo from one of their albums called Abbey Road. It's very, very cool. So a couple of more modern and iconic buildings from London. This one here is known as the Gherkin, and it's entirely covered in glass. So you can see how difficult that would have been for the Lego builders to create. But see this thing around the top here, that's a really special, intricate window cleaning device. So they use that and they make it go up and down so that these little window cleaners can clean that whole outside of the building, which is made of glass. It's incredible. So one thing I love about Lego kids is the expressions on the mini figurines' faces. So you can see the people in the line, they're waiting, they're a little bit grumpy and angry, and then soon as they get their coffee and their donuts, look how happy their faces become. So this building here is called the Shard, and the Shard is the tallest building in London. It's about the same size as the building we're standing in, the Sydney Tower Eye, about 310 metres. But this one here is called the London Eye, which is the largest cantilevered Ferris wheel in the whole of the world. It's very, very cool. And if you get a chance to go over to London and ride on it, the view from up here is amazing. So this is an iconic double-decker big red bus that travels through the streets of London carrying passengers all around the city. And I love this little part of the sculpture over here. It's English people enjoying a picnic in one of the many parks of London, which English people love to do. So kids, we're moving into our third city, and this one is called Tokyo. Tokyo is in Japan. Now this building is called Tokyo Metropolitan Building. You can see it's a very impressive building. It goes right up to the 33rd floor, then splits into these 2 amazing towers. Now this Lego building itself uses 33,291 bricks and took over 150 hours to build. That's a long time to spend building Lego, isn't it? But look at the result. Very, very cool. Now up here, kids, I've spotted someone. Do you know Godzilla? There's a little Lego figurine person dressed up as Godzilla. It's a funny thing to find at the top of a building, but I love the quirky little things that you can find in all these buildings around this exhibition. So this next build, kids, is of a place called Shibuya Crossing in Tokyo in Japan, and it shows the huge amount of population of people and also the technology. How cool is the screens that show the different images constantly changing in that Lego, and also the expressions on the different people that you can find crossing the road in Shibuya. We've got rock stars, we've got people getting married, we've got people with mohawks, and we've also got a traditional Japanese geisha, which you can see there in the red. So another really cool building found in Tokyo, kids, is this one here called the Yoyogi Building. Now I love those changing coloured lights at the top, which light up at night and they look spectacular. And also that famous clock which sits at the front of the building. So this is an awesome build which shows Tokyo in the olden days, from the 1600s to the 1800s. We've got a big pagoda here, we've got rice paddies, we've got a sushi shop, but one of the awesome things that you can find throughout this whole build is these awesome little ninja figures from Ninjago. You see how many you can spot. There's a couple having a spa there, there's a couple down under the ground there, and there's even one hanging upside down from the front of the pagoda. And then another cool thing is these cherry blossom trees, which during the spring have these beautiful pink flowers. So this is an incredible Lego build. It's a very famous bridge right here in Sydney called the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and it connects Sydney City to North Sydney. But how clever is this build? They've just created a section of the bridge as it's being constructed, and then you've got the famous Sydney Ferry going along Sydney Harbour underneath the bridge. It's just incredible, isn't it? So two more iconic buildings from Sydney. This one over here is called Capita Center, and this one is Deutsche Bank Place. But a very interesting fact about this Lego build is that they used a technique called the snot technique. Now, what is the snot technique? It is a studs not on top technique, and that allows them to give the smooth finish of the building all over. Pretty clever, hey? And what do we have up here, kids? The Aussie flag. Go Australia. So this model depicts the olden times of Sydney. This is from 1788 when Captain Cook arrived. But as we know, there was lots and lots of Aboriginal people living on this land for thousands and thousands of years. So you can see that they're depicted here. And there's also some Aboriginal cave painting behind here, which I think is just a nice touch for this incredible sculpture. But look at the amount of trees they've been able to bring to life, some Australian gum trees in this Lego build. It's incredible. So kids, this is the one that I have been waiting to see, because this is the Sydney Tower Eye. It's actually the place that we're standing in right now. It's right here in Sydney. Now this replica build of Sydney Tower Eye is just incredible. Up here you can find some rare gold Lego pieces. Not very often you'll see those, but how hard must it have been for the Lego builders to create these intricate winding wires up the side of the building. It's incredible. Now, some of the detail that I love here is the lifts going down into the train station underground, and they've even got buskers, a man playing music, and lots of people commuting to work, and also some rats underneath the back there. So kids, this is the 5th and final city in the Brickman Cities Lego exhibition, and this is New York. This is Lower Manhattan, and this is one incredible Lego replica build. It has 572 hours worth of work by Brickman himself. That is 210,000 bricks, and they are all white. It's incredible. I've been told there's 800 separate buildings in this one sculpture. It is incredible, it's mind-blowing. Come along and see it for yourself and check out all these unbelievably cool buildings. So I haven't been able to find Emmett Brakowski anywhere, kids. Have you seen Emmett Brakowski? He's where? He's there! Emmett! How are ya? How do I shake the hand of a Lego brickman? Like this? Well, thank you so much for having me. Sorry, what's that? Yes, I'm keeping well. Yes, are you keeping well? Yes, I can see you've been to the gym. You're looking very strong. Yes. And what's that? Really? In there? You're telling me in that huge Lego sculpture of Manhattan City, in all those white bricks, there's one red brick. One red brick. And you want me to try and find it? Kids, I'm going to need your help to try and find that red brick. It's going to take a long time, I know it is. 572 hours worth of work in that. And how many bricks? How many? 210,000 bricks, and one of them is red. This is going to be a game and a half. Kids, let's see if we can do it. Well, thank you so much for having me here, Emmett. I really appreciate you welcoming me along to this amazing exhibition. We'll say bye to the kids and we'll see them next time. Hopefully they'll come along and meet you in person, yeah? That would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know you're excited. See you, kids. So kids, we're in the lift now. We've left the Lego exhibition. We're going up all the way to the top of Sydney Tower Eye. I can tell you the view from up there is going to be spectacular. I can't wait. So the awesome part of the Brickman Cities Lego exhibition being here at Sydney Tower Eye is that you can come up to the observation deck, which is where we're standing right here. And it's at the top of this big building here. So we're up here somewhere, and the views from up here are just absolutely spectacular. So you can see 360 views all the way around this circular building, all around Sydney and far beyond into Blue Mountains, into the hills, all the way out past Manly, into the ocean. It's incredible. This place is so, so cool. So kids, if you get the chance to come along to Sydney Tower Eye and check out the Brickman Cities Lego exhibition, you won't be disappointed. As you would have seen, there is plenty of amazing Lego builds, but they always look better in person. Kids, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope it's inspired you to get some more Lego bricks and keep creating, keep building. We'll see you on the next video, and until then, stay keen. Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Ozzie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Ozzie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of